What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Yeah.Whatever podcast. My name is Frank Helmstetter. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Today we're going to have a quick little fun video. The last one, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the description. It's a little more of a serious topic. It's about like income inequality and things like that, and about regulating businesses and government regulation to protect our working class, basically. So it's kind of a bigger video, has more data-driven points. So it's a little bit less like fun, you know. So today I thought we would react to some Fox News, see if we can get through it without cringing, because their new thing is pointing out that the vaccine mandates that are in question here, you know, like in New York City, as you might have heard, the mayor has said that in order to get into like gyms, indoor dining, you need a vaccine passport because it ensures that you are protecting yourself and everyone else you're surrounding yourself with, that you have protected them, that you have the vaccine. Really isn't that big of a deal. The vaccine is free to every person. It is safe and effective. So within reason, you know, if you are 99% of the American people that are going to be fine, and when you take the vaccine, there's literally no excuse to not have it. And this only serves to incentivize people to get it because everyone can be safe again. If we all are vaccinated, then the virus cannot replicate and make these new variants, which are making the vaccines not effective. So I don't really know the debate behind this because it seems pretty idiotic to me. But regardless, Hannity called out racism in New York City's vaccine mandate. So I can't wait to see what Sean Hannity... By the way, Sean Hannity, who is vaccinated, just want to throw that out there, that Sean Hannity is vaccinated, as is every Fox News host. So literally everything they say about being not getting the vaccine is hypocritical and the opposite of what they decided to do. So regardless, though, we're going to watch this video, see what Sean Hannity's got for us after this freaking ad. Oh, and you could see right at the end there, another thing they're talking about is Cuomo, who is a sexual abuser, like literally has sexually assaulted, I think, 11 women. So Fox News is doing this new thing where they are calling out Andrew Cuomo for not resigning and for, you know, participating in these atrocious acts, which, hey, nobody is on the other side of this issue, guy. Like, I think Republicans think that, like, they're making a funny point when they say that, like, he's, you know, a sexual abuser. Like, no one disagrees with that. Like, I want him to resign. The president wants him to resign. Like, there's, like, barely any person that would stick up for, and the whole reason they're doing it is because Andrew Cuomo is a Democrat. But, you know, obviously they actively choose to ignore the fact that Donald Trump had, like, 27 sexual assault allegations. You know, plenty of politicians, Republican and Democrat, have had histories of sexual abuse. They also just brush over Matt Gaetz in Florida. You know, just it's very convenient for them to just pick and choose who they decide to persecute for sexual abuse.
MSDNC obsessively worry about all of that dangerous freedom that exists in states like Florida and Texas. Well, in New York City, their mayor, Comrade...
Okay, let's just stop really quick. I'm gonna try not to stop this too much, but it's crazy. Like, the way to watch Fox News is to think about every single sentence that is being said. You have to sit there and literally listen to every sentence and say, wait, hold on, back up. So what Hannity just said was, he's conflating, he's acting as if Democrats are against freedom, which is like, no one is saying that. Like, what they are saying is in states like Florida. So like, he opened up and said, let's just watch it back. Okay, let's watch this again. Listen to what he says. Obsessively worry about all of that dangerous freedom that exists. No one has said that. Literally, he is making this up. What he's saying is, as we worry about rising COVID cases in states without regulation, in states without any mandates, we are worried about COVID. We are not worried about stripping away freedom from anyone. If coincidentally the mandates strip away freedom, that is because we are worried about COVID. But a consistent conservative talking point is to conflate the issue and make it sound like Democrats are the opposite of freedom, or like they're advocating for the opposite of freedom, when what it is literally just COVID precaution. So like, don't let that fool you. Like, he's trying to immediately start with the premise that we are anti-freedom. I don't know why I say we. I'm not a Democrat. So that Democrats are anti-freedom. That's not the case.
States like Florida and Texas. Well, in New York City, their mayor, Comrade Bill de Blasio, just announced a citywide vaccine passport mandate. These are the new rules. Anyone that wants to dine indoors or go to a gym or do pretty much anything inside, you'll need to present documents proving that you have been vaccinated.
What is wrong with that? Like, literally, what is wrong with that? Just get the vaccine. Like, it literally is a free medical procedure. Like, it literally takes 10 minutes and you wouldn't even have to worry about this anymore. It's literally just to keep people safe. I don't know why this is like a debate. It doesn't make any sense. And let me show you something. In France, watch this. So in France, they decided to do the same thing where you have to have a vaccine passport. So naturally, as people realize that they have to get it in order to do anything, whoa, that's crazy. Look at that increase. It's almost like saying if you don't do something that protects other people, you don't get to do many things because you're hurting other people and putting other people in danger. And in France, a lot of people protest this, like similarly to what will happen in America. Like, it is inevitable that these conservative hogs will come out and say like, well, God damn it, brother. People will protest this. Like, people will be very upset that we could potentially have any sort of vaccine mandate. As you can see, people already are upset. But regardless, the proof is literally in the pudding here. You can see when you require people to do something in order, like if you say you have to do this, and then you're good. Like, it literally, take a vaccine and then you're good. You are protecting yourself. You're protecting other people. This is all we want to happen so that this pandemic doesn't linger forever. Guy, you know, if you're comparing that to the COVID vaccine, which is, again, literally in almost every place in America now, like, we are saturated with vaccines. We have too many now, and it is free to the American public. There's a big difference between saying that, like, a policy which requires people to have wealth in order to vote, basically, is different than saying we want everyone to be vaccinated because the vaccine is free and we're giving it to you for free. That's the difference. That's literally the difference. But let's keep going, I guess.
Century and Jim Crow 2.0. But apparently, identification for daily activities is Democratic approved. Just like attending the DNC, want to see your congressman or woman or senator from your state, or getting a bottle of wine or a six-pack of beer, yeah, you need photo ID. And now they want you to have identification to prove that you have been vaccinated just to enter a restaurant, but not to vote. Now, today, Biden praised de Blasio's efforts. Now, something to keep in mind, there is a New York statistics that show only 33% of African Americans in New York City are vaccinated, a low rate. Now, this means that under Comrade de Blasio's rules, that would mean 66%, fully two-thirds of African Americans will be barred from restaurants, from concerts, from...
Dude, Hannity is literally going to sit here and say that it is racist because we are saying that you need vaccine passports to get vaccinated. Like, don't let him confuse you. He's trying to conflate literally just saying we need to have people vaccinated so that every social function is safe again. Like, that is what we are saying. He's trying to conflate that with racial agitprop. Like, he's literally saying if, you know, because less communities of color are vaccinated, that by putting in vaccine mandates, you are only serving to put down black communities. It's like, dude, that's not what we're, like, it literally is just to keep people safe. Like, we're trying to get people vaccinated, and that goes across racial groups. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there are people... He's also actively choosing to ignore the fact that there are, you know, tons of, you know, white population that is also unvaccinated. It applies for them too. We're not targeting a certain racial group in order to persecute them on the basis of their race. Whether or not this has racial implication because those racial groups are not getting vaccinated is a whole different discussion. But for him to sit here and say that like this is a leftist strategy is to, you know, make it impossible for blacks to get into like restaurants and stuff, like that's not what's happening. And also let's keep in mind here that millions of people a night watch the same Fox News, which spreads blatant vaccine misinformation, and then sits here and says that, you know, well, this large group of people isn't vaccinated. It's like, yeah, because you're fucking saying shit that is just not true. Like, you are the ones that literally are spreading misinformation night after night, and you wonder why so many communities, southern communities of color, why these communities are not getting vaccinated. Like it comes from historical issues in racial like medicine. Like obviously that's a real prevalent thing in those communities and like an actual worry. And it also comes from people like Hannity, people like Tucker Carlson, telling people night after night that the vaccines are unsafe. Meanwhile, they're sitting in their cushy places with all of their conservative friends, all fully vaccinated. And they're telling people that the left's goal is to separate people on the basis of their race. That's disgusting, dude. Like that's not at all what's happening. Like we're literally just saying, and this is also, it is a strategy. It's a strategy to get people vaccinated. Like we're not going to, like Democrats are not going to sit there and hide that. Like it is a strategy. Like saying that you can't do things unless you yourself are protecting other people by getting a free vaccine that is safe and effective. That is not, you know, that's by design. We're trying to get people vaccinated, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like there shouldn't be anything wrong with literally just trying to get people a life-saving medication so we don't live in perpetual misery. Like why is that an issue? And he's sitting here conflating it with race. It's disgusting. Like
venues where you have ball games, from gyms, movie theaters, all in New York City. This will now negatively and quite disproportionately impact minorities in New York City. And by the way, what about medical exemptions? In other words, maybe your doctor says you shouldn't get the shot, shouldn't get the vaccine because of this rare.
Do you think for a second that if we were to implement like a nationwide vaccine passport program, that we wouldn't like account for the fact that there are some people who can't get the vaccine? We're not going to implement a program like this without thinking about those underlying exemptions. Like that's going to happen. So it's just BS.
They said if you have COVID, you don't need any vaccine. And never mind medical privacy, your medical privacy, never mind.
Being vaccinated is I mean, look, there's other opinions, but like it's pretty obvious that you can literally just Google search the shit that Sean Hannity is saying and see that he's just fucking lying to you. Like getting vaccinated is important even if you've had COVID. Protection after natural infection is good, but we don't know how long it lasts. Vaccines boost your antibodies and reduces the risk you'll get reinfected, and it's clear vaccine protection lasts at least 6 months. So it literally is proven that vaccines protect for longer than actual infection. So like he's literally just lying to people, but okay.
Doctor-patient confidentiality. Anyone who's vaccinated is allowed to attend indoor activities. Well, they'll now soon have to share their personal medical documents with employees at every restaurant, every bar, every sporting event.
You mean how like schools for decades have required students to get vaccines? You mean how like employers can mandate things for employees that they have to do in order to stay employed at a certain company? Cry about it, dude. Look, I made fun of this before, but Ben Shapiro, when addressed about climate change, just said, you don't think people that live on the coast, if they're affected by rising sea levels, you don't think they'll just move? You don't think they'll just move? Just get up and move somewhere else? Obviously, Ben is ignoring many logistics here, but in the same argument fashion, you don't like that your company that you work for, which is fully within their right to tell you that you need to be vaccinated in order for you to continue working there, you don't like it? Get a new job. Stop crying about it. Like, you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Like, who's being the snowflake here? Like, get a new job.
Colorado, they're now ordering children to stay 6 feet apart from one another and practice social distancing at all.
Can we just be clear here? Like, they're going to sit here and they're going to argue, like Hannity is going to say that it is wrong because it's stunting social growth. Like, these kids can't be living in this type of environment. That's what he's going to say. Now, think about it. In order for them not to live in this type of environment anymore, where there's literally a dangerous virus on a warpath throughout the entire world that has shut down everything, has stunted social life for everyone, in order for that to end, it takes people getting vaccinated against the virus. Like, that's literally how pandemics end, is getting vaccinated. The same people that are going to sit here and saying that it's stunning social growth are the ones who are refusing to get the vaccine, which literally is the reason that we are seeing spikes in cases again. So, like,
Now the NIH.
okay, reason. Here's the reason. Literally, we are seeing now with this Delta variant that it is such a huge viral load. Like, when it is such a big viral load that it is infecting vaccinated people. The reason that the Delta variant exists and has continued to thrive and become the dominant variant in the United States is because of anti-vaxxers. That is literally the truth. That is literally what has happened. So the people that are spreading it are anti-vaxxers. Now, the reason this guy is saying that you need to wear masks around your unvaccinated children is because we are finding that vaccinated people can get this variant. The only reason the variant exists is because not enough people are vaccinated. So, yes, like, what he's saying seems pretty extreme, like wearing masks at home. But think about it. Like, if the parents are vaccinated and they can go out and they get the virus, like, and their kids don't have approval yet because they're under the age of 12 to get the vaccine, then technically speaking, those vaccinated parents could infect the unvaccinated children. So that's the reason behind it. Whether or not you agree with it is a different thing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell people they need to wear masks within their own home. I think that's a little much, but he's just saying, like, you know, that's like the worst case scenario. Like, that is something that you might want to consider, is all he's saying. He's not telling people, like, okay, guys, there's now a new mandate where the government will come to your house and shoot you if you don't wear a mask in your home. Like, that's how they're treating this issue, but that's not at all what's being said.
So-called experts in our federal government, they seem to have different messages on masks and treatments and vaccines every day. A new protocol. How is that not confusing?
I love how confused conservatives get with literal, like, science. Like, science is a continual process. Like, we're still learning about this variant. Now there's a fucking new variant, which doesn't have a name yet because it's not dominant yet. But, you know, we'll see. As people don't get vaccinated, of course the variant will spread. And, of course, we'll be shut down for years upon years. And it'll be great. But regardless, I love how, he's so confused. Like, they're so confused. They're like, how? It doesn't really make a lot of sense that the CDC finds out new information, and then when they find the new information, they change their thoughts on the virus. Like, it's almost as if when new information is presented into the scientific process, that the results and what you do going forward changes along with the new science and the new findings. As you learn things, you change things. That's kind of how progress works, you know. When you find out new information about things, you take that information and say, wait, we can be doing something better so that it doesn't continue to spiral in one direction.
Hesitancy comes from, that would be from them, from Joe Biden on down. And according to the contradictory statement,
I guess my question would be, like, what do you, like, would you, like, if that's what's causing vaccine hesitancy, rather than Tucker Carlson going on air every night and saying, well, we can't really trust the doctors. See, all these doctors, or so-called experts, say that they know things about the vaccine, but really they don't know anything about the vaccine. Like, do you think that is causing more mistrust than just, you know, literally just saying, okay, guys, we found out new information, so here's the new thing going forward as we learn from our new information? Like, is that actually what he's saying? And also, like, my question is like, what would you like us to do? Would you rather the CDC just see new information and be like, okay, I think we should wear masks again because it seems like this is more of a dangerous threat to vaccinated people once again because it's a new variant? Or do you think we should just continually not let people wear masks or not make people wear masks, just watch the cases go up again? Like, Would you rather them just not do that and then just watch the world spiral out of control? Like, what do you want them to do? Like, they're literally just giving you updates on as they learn new things. Like, why is that complicated?
From Biden, lockdowns may or may not be coming back. Now, remember, just a few weeks ago when Biden...
And it's up to you. Lockdowns may or may not be coming back. That means if not enough people are getting vaccinated, we might have to lock down again. So, like, don't let him confuse you. Literally, it is up to the people that are not vaccinated. That is literally what it is. So,
Fauci and everyone else in the government, they were promising all of us, right? They were promising you your life would return to normal if you got the vaccine that day, not having gone to medical school or done a residency or an internship or ever practiced medicine, that they are telling everybody to get it without any knowledge of anybody's own medical history or current medical condition. Anyway, were they just lying or naive? You decide.
Neither. Literally neither. Joe Biden said months ago, if 70 to 75% of people are vaccinated in July, then we will reach herd immunity. We currently are at like 51%. So we didn't even reach the goal, which he is claiming is the end all thing. Like he's saying that, well, they said that we needed to get vaccinated and then now we're vaccinated. Like we already did that, and then now our freedom is being it's because not enough people are vaccinated, dude. Like maybe they had a little more faith in the American public that 70% would be an easy thing, considering it's literally a life-saving medication that is designed to end the worst period in recent American history. But and then when we don't reach that point, he's confused as to why we still are restricted in terms of what we can do. It's like, because you're not getting vaccinated, dude. That's the reason. Think, dog. Like, use your head. People, please don't let this get to you. It's such a stupid fucking argument.
So if we can get the overwhelming proportion of the population vaccinated by, let's say, the end of the second, the beginning of the third quarter, by the time we get into...
They're going to say that that's what they did, which he literally, in the first sentence of what Fauci just said, if the overwhelming majority of the American public is vaccinated, boom, that has not happened. The end of the argument. Literally, it's an if statement. It is literally an if statement, and it says, if the overwhelming majority of the American public is vaccinated, boom, already not happened. So, like, nothing else that could follow could be remotely true, because it's conditional. Like, he literally said, if the overwhelming majority of the American population, boom, has not happened. That's it.
Same people who were eager to lock us all down at the drop of a hat. It went from vaxxed or masked to vax en masse to vaccine passports to mandatory vaccinations with social distancing and mom and dad wearing masks at home. Except at the border, there's a big exception here, where illegal immigrants are now pouring across...
Update as of today, the Biden administration is offering vaccines to every person that they're letting through the southern border. So this argument is fucking stupid and already proven to be untrue. And it's not even a real issue. It is literally a conservative talking point. They're trying to distract you from the fact that first of all, literally I can show you, Mexico is, watch this. So I know that there's more South American countries that immigrants can come from, but let's just assume that it's primarily Mexican immigrants. Here's the first thing that I would like to point out is that, hey, Mexico, 12 per 100,000. Hey, United States, 28 per 100,000. The Mexico is literally safer currently than the United States. So, whatever. I guess we'll just ignore that. Also, once again, as I already said, we are offering vaccines to every person that we are letting through the southern border, so it's not even an issue. And it's only serving to distract people from the fact that millions within our own country are putting everyone at risk. It is literally just being used as a way to distract. Wow, that was really hard to find. I really hope people don't just I already know this happens. I'm not saying I really hope. I really hope that in the future people don't literally just see or listen to things like this fucking bullshit that Hannity is saying and not do their own research, because it would literally take you a second to realize that we are offering vaccines to migrants soon. So like, not even an issue.
See, this country is headed in what is a very, very scary direction as Biden's dark winter now turns into...
Yeah, dude. I think the country is also headed in a really scary direction. As you just take a look at this really quick. We are now at 92,000 cases a day, so super great. Let's see, U.S. hotspots. I think the country is also going in a bad direction, considering that we have much more red on the map than when we last checked in. Boom. And would you look at that? Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama. Basically, the entire red zone is what I like to call this. The entire red zone of voter base, like conservative voter base, is primarily the people that, and I mean, like, you have parts of Oregon too, but make no mistake, this part of Oregon, extremely conservative. So, you know, the primary conservative hotspots are literally the ones that are the least vaccinated, and whoa, wouldn't you look at that, the highest case rates. So yeah, I also think the country's headed in a dark direction, and any effort to curb that and any effort to, you know, try to make situations more safe for Americans again is a dictatorship, apparently, and that's the real danger. Makes a lot of sense, Hannity. Thanks, guys, for watching this. I just wanted to watch that video because I watched like the first minute yesterday, and I thought it was ridiculous and would be something good to talk about, and just kind of pick apart the absurdity that Fox News correspondents successfully, albeit, shove down the throats of millions of conservative hogs every night. There you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. This has been a fun little short, and we'll see you later.